everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on a topic that has been very prevalent in my life recently, and that is the topic of self-love. I would also kind of like to make this a series or a coffee chat. Here I am with my coffee, my Colombian brew with hazelnut creamer and sugar. Woo! It is so good, you guys. Also want to excuse this. I just got back from the gym and thought about making this video, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna think too hard about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Also, if I changed, it would kind of be like hypocritical to the point of this video. So yeah. So this past weekend I actually went to a YouTube event, and this event is called Playlist Live, and it was in Washington DC, and it was actually I think my 7th or 8th Playlist Live I've ever been to ever, because they have 2 a year. And wow, I love that convention so much. I love meeting you guys. I love hanging out with my YouTube friends. It's just honestly a blast. Every single year they ask me if I want to do a meetup and or a panel, and every single year I tell them that I would love to do a meetup. I love meeting you guys. I love having 5-minute conversations to an hour conversations with some of you guys. Honestly, they make my life. But I always usually say no to a panel just because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have expertise to the topic they'll give me, or like what if I say something wrong, or I don't know. I just like, if I don't have to public speak, I won't go out of my way to do it, if that makes sense. But this year is kind of different. I was like, oh, it might be one of my like last Playlist Lives. I don't know, who knows. Might as well give it a shot. And I was very lucky to be given the topic of self-love, and me and 4 other badass women sat at a panel, and we had a pretty good turnout and answered some questions for you guys that the mediator gave us, and also some questions that you guys had for us. And it was very eye-opening. In the moment, if you were there, I couldn't really think of the top of my head. You know, the questions got a lot deeper than I expected them to get. Afterwards, I think I literally spent like 3 or 4 hours just like thinking about the answers that the other YouTubers ended up giving, and thinking about like my true real answers of how I found self-love, and I decided to share them with you guys. I also realized that I'm blessed to be in a place right now that I can talk openly about my journey with self-love, and that people ask me because they see it. That's just crazy for me, and I want to give myself a big pat on the back for being in the place right now that I can help other people find it, if that makes sense. Because let me tell ya, it's been a long and hard journey, and it's a journey that never ends, you guys. The aspect that I realized that a lot of people didn't understand based on the questions they were asking in the audience was that there's never a point in your life that you're going to be like, yes, I found self-love, I have self-love, and now I'm good, like, found it. Like, it's not like a point in life that you get and then you're like, fine. It's a journey, and it's never ever going to happen overnight. Self-love is an abundant amount of baby steps, trial and error, and conscious decision making about your life. It's almost impossible for self-love to be this like big, like random change in your life, and like that the rest of it comes easy, because it's not easy, and it's never going to be easy. For me, it like roughly started around like where like Instagram was becoming like really big, and I was kind of wanting to get into the modeling industry, and so I went out of my way and followed as many models as I could, which can be toxic if you let it be toxic, but it can also not if you don't. So I would look at these girls and literally stare at their pictures for hours at a time, and I would get so freaking jealous of them, and I would be like, how do they look like that? How are they this cool? Like, how can I get like that? Like, I don't think it's possible. That was my mindset. And basically after like looking at Instagram for hours at a time, I would always have a negative headspace, and it was not okay. You know, that's pretty toxic. I was basically looking at these pictures like I'm a piece of poop, like I am literally sitting in my bed eating potato chips like with a triple chin. And yeah, there's no going back from this. And I'm sad to say that the same thing happened with YouTubers at the time. You know, I was growing consistently, and then randomly my senior year of high school I kind of stopped and took a little bit of a break, which is one of the biggest regrets I've ever had in my life, because I was so consistent and so like happy with what I was doing. But then I was watching other YouTubers, and I was seeing how much better quality their videos were getting, and how much more creative their videos were getting, and I didn't use it as an inspiration of me. I used it as a, oh, I'm never gonna be able to move as fast as these girls. I'm never going to be as good, as creative, as awesome as these girls. So it made me take a step back, and I wasn't confident anymore in what I was posting, and it was kind of really sad. And that brings me to a point, is that there was never a moment I decided to dive into the world of self-love. I kind of just slowly saw on my Instagram and stuff, like the How to Be a Badass book, like was going all around, the Girl Boss book. I was hearing about all these self-help books and self-help channels, and I just kind of dove right into those books and realized that I have control of my thoughts, my emotions, and everything about my life. And I started from step one. I realized that all this content being put out didn't have to be discouraging to me at all, but they could be an inspiration for me to be that person that I was jealous of and the person that I wanted to be and I saw online, and that I realized I could be that person. Anyone in the world could be that person if they're confident in themselves and if they realize that the world is... My camera died, yay! So basically where I left off is I think that I realized that the world is my oyster. I took the phrase, the world is your oyster, to heart, and I slowly started working on myself to become the person I wanted to be in this beautiful world. And wow, I talked with my hands a lot just there. I made vision boards for the goals that I had for the future. I decided to screenshot every quote that made me feel even a little bit inspired and make a folder on my phone for whenever I felt uninspired. I decided to only listen to music that made me happy, and if you know me, I listen to every single type of music, and that is kind of like a part. Music is a really big part of me, and whenever I'm in a room alone, whenever I'm alone ever, I'm always have my headphones in or have my speaker on. But staying away from the negative messages that like music can bring once in a while, especially some rappers, I feel like that helped me a lot. I surrounded myself with some positive vibes, and I actually just came out with a playlist on SoundCloud. Check it out, I'll link it down below. Happy Vibes is actually the name of the playlist. Wow, that just ties in so well with this video. I took everything that I was surrounded with and found a way to turn it into a life lesson, because it's actually insane that every single person, every single thing that is in your life was supposed to be in your life, and you're supposed to get something out of it, and you will get something out of it whether you like it or not. Whether you're conscious about it or not, you are going to learn a lesson from everything put in your life. So I ended up studying the people around me and not giving the time of day to the pessimistic people who didn't want to get better. It's crazy to me to think that there are people in this world that are sad, that are mad, and are okay with being sad and mad about everything. Like, wow. If you don't want to change the path of being a pessimist and being sad, to work on myself, I'm not going to surround myself with you, because they say you're the most like the 5 people you surround yourself with, and if one of those 5 people isn't on the same page of wanting to like grow as a person and be the best them they can be, then I'm sorry that I'm not going to let them be a big part of my life. Because it's not going to help me in the future, and it's all about you. Honestly, this might be like, oh wow, like how to be selfish, but self-love is a lot of selfishness and selflessness morphed into one. Yeah. Because energy is so contagious, you guys. Like, I swear, when I'm around good energy, I am on a high in life for like a week and a half. It's hard to be in a room where every single person in the room has that great of energy, but then when you're at these things, like these YouTube events like I was this past weekend, or surrounded by all your friends and everyone's having a good time, it is the most contagious thing in the whole entire world, and honestly, that's what I strive to have all the time. So I stopped ignoring important text messages and started being honest to like why I wasn't replying, and a lot of the times I said, sorry, I'm working on myself, and that is always a valid excuse. If you ever want to say no to a party, say no to hanging out with someone, saying no to a business meeting, just anything, a valid excuse is that you are working on yourself to become a better person overall. And whenever I hear someone saying sorry, like I'm working on myself, I just want to give them the biggest hug, like the biggest like round of applause. Yes, girl, you better work on yourself. I will see you on the other side, bigger and better than ever. And wow, it gets me hyped. It gets me hyped, not gonna lie. I asked myself where I wanted to be in 10 years, and I stopped making excuses as to why I couldn't be there now. Because really, excuses are the main problem with anything in life. Stop making excuses. We all do it, and we're still gonna do it whether we love ourselves or not. They just make everything another extra step. It's like, I have to make this excuse before I do it. Why make life harder for you? If you have enough time to come up with an excuse for something, you have enough time to do it. You can fight me on that one, but in general. Also, that also goes with complaining. If you have enough time to complain about something for a really long time, like repeatedly, you probably could have gotten done what you were complaining about halfway through what you were complaining about. I had the whole conversation, I don't know if that made any sense, but I had a whole conversation about this the other day, and I was like, wow, like, it is just really a waste of time. I realize that you can change your life at any single moment. If you are not happy with the life you're living right now, you can cut your hair, you can shave your head, you can move across the country, you can change your name, you can be whoever in the world that you want to be at any time and cut off all ties. And that is something you can do, like, in the world. That's just mind-blowing to me. The fact that you can truly start over is insane. Also, once I took a step back and realized what the bullies and the mean girls were saying to me wasn't a representation of me, but of them, I started feeling bad for them and started killing them with kindness, because stooping to the mean girls levels is only going to take you one step down from reaching your overall goal of self-love and happiness. And if you give the bullies and the mean girls the time of day and you put energy into fighting them and being negative towards them, it's only gonna make you in a worse mood overall. And if you just like step back and you'll be like, I'm sorry you feel that way about life, and you think that I deserve this much energy, and kind of just like tell them like that you love them anyways, like no matter what they did to you. You probably won't tell them that, but if you think about it, you can seriously turn it around and be like, wow, like, I'm sorry you feel this way and you have this much negativity to give on a random girl that if you're this mad at right now, it doesn't have to be in your life in the future. Because like I said, I put this on an Instagram caption the other day, if it's not gonna matter in 5 years, you shouldn't spend 5 minutes thinking about it. And that is something I will preach for the rest of my life, because it is so true. When you think about getting in those little fights with your sorority girls or anything like that, think about if you will see this person in 5 years, and the answer is probably going to be no, unless it's like your best friend. Obviously that's different. You should just drop whatever is holding you down, weighing you down, making you upset. Just drop it and you'll feel a lot better about yourself, honestly. I realized that like hyping other people up about life and how freaking cool it is made me happier at the end of the day, and that is what I just started doing. I started kind of just spreading the happiness and spreading the excitement of life that I achieved after all this stuff, and now I wake up every single day just excited for what the day is going to bring and what life has to offer, and I try to spread that. And if I can hit one person with that love, then I am happy by the end of the day. Because I've already said this like 4 times in this video, but the world is truly your oyster, and as cute as the saying is, like the meaning behind it is just mind-boggling. Like literally this world can be however you want it to be. The world is however you perceive it, and you can change your thoughts, and you are the only one in control of your thoughts and emotions. And once you have a good connection with yourself and with your thoughts and emotions and your actions, then everything is going to fall into your hands, and you know, blessings are going to keep falling on your lap, seriously. Our lives are up to us, and once you start being the person that God made you to be and start embracing your flaws and realizing that you are one of a kind, everything's gonna fall into place, and the world is never gonna let you down. Because the world won't have the power to let you down, because you'll be so secure with yourself that your confidence will radiate, and in the end the only person that has the power to let you down is yourself. So moving on, you take every bad thing that happens to you and you thank the world for giving you the obstacle, because it made you a stronger person in the end. Self-love is freaking hard, you guys, and it took me 20 years to realize this, and I'm still gonna fight every single day to become the person that I want to be and that I'm proud of for the rest of my life. I finally decided to live my best life, and here I am preaching to you guys, trying to have you guys live yours, and I hope I helped you in any way into doing that. And I hope I can help you in the future, because I know you can do it, and it is 100% worth it. Because your worth isn't what other people think of you, it's what you think of you. And wow, girl power, self-love, all of this is wrapped up into this one video. This is my thoughts on self-love. Hi, I'm Sarah. Yeah, so that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below what other video you would like to see in this coffee chat. And now that I'm talking about coffee chat, I realize my coffee's across the room, and probably wasn't the best representation of a coffee chat, but who knows. If you have any other topics of self-love or anything you'd like me to talk about in general in a coffee chat, comment them down below, because I love these type of videos and I love being able to help any of you guys guys with my personal experiences I've been through. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Peace.
Wait, would you tell me what you think about the concept of a dream? Yeah. Could you tell me what it means? Oh, I gotta